Hi guys, welcome to Cooking with the Cabinets. My name is Matt, and we are going to get started today.
Welcome back to my kitchen. This is going to be our late night snack edition. We're going to make something that is absolutely delicious and super easy to make. We're going to start by taking a paper towel, damp paper towel, and just washing off our mushrooms. And that can go in the trash. Alright, now our pan is already on. We are going to go ahead and get about a tablespoon of butter. Drop that right in there. Alright, we're going to get all of our prep work out of the way really fast. I had just a bit of zucchini that I had left in the fridge. I'm going to cut it into 4 lengthways, and then we're just going to dice it up really good. We don't have to worry overly much about the size of the pieces here. You're going to saute them down with the mushrooms to make your midnight snack. Alright, but your zucchini does take a little bit, so you want to get that in there pretty soon. Alright. Zucchini in, pop your stems out. You are going to cut those up and just use those because no waste. These you're going to cut in half and then just slice. Alright, I'm not worried about making it look pretty. This is, like I said, just something that I like to eat late at night when I'm hungry. Or like tonight when I've been working late and I come home. And it is just time to eat. Okay. You're going to give those zucchini just a minute before you throw your mushrooms in with them. Because the zucchini are going to take a little bit longer to cook. Alright, you got your tops and tails cut. Go ahead and take your spatula. And get all that going. Alright. Make sure all your little pieces of zucchini are separated. Your zucchini and mushrooms are going to kind of be the meat of this dish. Go ahead and toss straight into that. Alright. Alright, so once that's in there, go ahead and give that a pretty good stir. And you're just going to let that cook for a few minutes. You'll notice I am not super seasoning this yet. You want those mushrooms to cook down a little bit before you add any sort of salt or anything. I'm actually not going to add much salt at all because my salt component will come into play later. Alright, that is almost cooked down, so I am going to top and tail a green onion. And I am just going to give myself good sized slices here. Alright. Make sure those are separated as much as you can. And I'm going to take off that bit because it's already fallen off. Alright, and then I want to make sure that there is clear pan for these to go down on. Because you do want to give those some time to cook. Now those are going to just go in there for a little bit. Your zucchini and your mushrooms are cooking away. They're nice and happy. That's where you want them. The greens, alright? Take off the very tops of this. And I'm going to go ahead and dice these up now for garnish on top of my meal. because half of how food tastes is how it looks. Alright. Go ahead and start to move those around a little bit. Alright. I got those mixed all the way in. I didn't need them mixed all the way in yet. So we're going to kick those off to the side and take our zucchini and mushroom mixture. And you guys have seen the blue plate. Today we have the blue bowl. Because you're going to want a bowl for this when it's all said and done. Take your zucchini mushroom mixture and just drop some on my cutting board. Blessing of the cutting board. It's clean. Alright. Just let that hang out in this bowl for a little while. Alright. Set that bowl off to the side. Snack on your scragglers. Give that a little bit of a shimmy shake. And then take a little bit more butter. Alright. Get that in there. Let that start doing its thing. Leave the butter out. You might need more later. Got butter moving around the pan. Just let those green onions hang out in there. Alright, when your butter is all the way melted, take some short pasta of your choice. I use either shells or elbows for this typically. And put them in your pan into the butter. You don't need to put a whole ton in this, you're just serving yourself. Like I said, it's a late night snack kind of thing. I'll put a little bit more in there because I'm kind of hungry. And if I bring it back into the bedroom, my wife will most definitely steal a bite. You're going to shake that around for a minute and give that some time to toast just a little bit. It doesn't need to toast a whole lot. Okay. Just let that sit for a second. While that's sitting, once that's done sitting for just a second, you want to just hear the popping a little bit. Take yourself some, I'm using just water, but you can use vegetable stock, you can use beef stock, chicken stock. I've done it with turkey stock before. Alright, so once that's in there, once the water's in there, bring it up to a boil. And then you're going to want to just stir it pretty regularly because you don't want your pasta to sit. You're going to see white stuff floating to the surface, and then you're going to start to see big white bubbles, and that is all the starch releasing from your pasta, and that is what we want. Now, the big thing about cooking this way is you do not want to walk away from it. It will overcook or you'll run out of liquid very quickly. Alright, so while you're keeping an eye on that, watching it bubble away, cooking your pasta, you're probably going to have to add water to that at some point. Take out your trusty block cheese. You can use just bagged shredded cheese if you've got it, but I got block cheese, and this is a good way to make sure it gets used. Take it to your shredder, and you're going to shred it down. Now, for people who like a lot of cheese, you can go heavy on the cheese. I like cheese, but I don't need a ton of it to make this a happy place. Alright. Be sure to get all the cheese out of your cheese grater. And that is probably going to be plenty of cheese for this, other than the other cheese that we will put on top at the end. Go ahead and stir this. And you can see all the big white bubbles in there. That's the starch being released. Alright. Alright, so my noodles have been going for a little while, and their water is about halfway evaporated out. I'm going to go ahead and add some more water to it. You want to try to not use water that's too cold because you don't want to drop the temperature too much. Warm water or room temperature water is best. Just get that mixed in. Alright. We're going to let that get going away back to a bubble. And that should only take just a couple of seconds. Alright, so that's been bubbling away really good. And this is why we are not going to be, why we have not used any salt so far. Anytime you put something with salt into a thing that you're reducing down like this, it is going to intensify its saltiness by magnitudes. So I'm going to take just a little bit of this dashi paste, and like I said, you could have, if you use just chicken broth or vegetable broth or whatever, then you don't need to use this. You just want to stir that in. And it is going to give your cooking liquid a little bit of flavor. And then you're going to just let this bubble away, continue to stir, make sure nothing's sticking, until there is almost no water left. You do want a little bit of liquid still in your pot. So normally when you do something like this, I'm going to be making a cheese sauce, obviously. When you do something like this, you want to use like a roux or some sort of emulsifier. In this case, the starch from the pasta itself is going to be our emulsifier. And we can just go ahead and let that keep cooking down. There's still too much liquid in the pan. And our noodles are not quite too al dente yet. Alright, almost all of the liquid is now out of our pasta, but we do want some of it because we need some of that liquid to turn into a sauce. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some cheese and just stir that in there. You don't want it up too high or your cheese will just kind of be clumpy, but too low and your cheese won't melt at all. So you're just going to stir your cheese in there and let it get happy. I do mine in about 2 doses. And you can use just about any type of good melting cheese that you want for this. Alright. Go ahead and add in the rest of our cheese here. Going pretty good, getting that cheese melted. Everybody loves cheese. And if you wanted to, you could add as much cheese to this as your sauce can handle. Alright, that cheese has been going pretty good. So we're going to add a decent hit of black pepper. Alright. And just stir that in. that a good mix. And we're going to take our mushrooms and zucchini from earlier. Mix that back in there. Just get that nice and stirred in there really good. Let that hang out for just a minute so that it has some time to absorb a little bit of that cheese sauce. Alright, that's hung out for a minute. You can go ahead and shut it off. Give it one last stir. And then you're just going to move a chunk of it, however much will fit in this case, into your bowl. Now, in my fridge, I just happen to have another type of cheese. So what I'm going to do is take this cheese and just sprinkle it right over the top. And then take our green onions and sprinkle that around the outside. And there you have it. Late night mac and cheese. Hanging out with me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this really easy cheese pasta recipe. You only need 3 things. Liquid to cook your pasta in, cheese, and the pasta itself. Anything else is just extra, and you can add whatever you want, whether that be meat or veggies, what have you. You can even serve this in a taco if you wanted to. Yes, I've done it before. Yes, it's delicious. Thank you guys and have a good night.